Thank you for joining us for our second half hour here on Fox 51. I'm Kara Pritchard. Jessica Guidry has the night off. It sure was a nice day, but Scott says some colder air is moving in tonight. But the question is, will it last till Christmas? Here's Scott with your Fox Forward forecast.
In a word, Kara, no. As a matter of fact, Christmas looking pretty warm right now, but we'll show you more specifically that forecast as we extend out to the next week and beyond in just a few minutes. First of all, tonight, kind of a weird temperature pattern, and it's because cold front has arrived in northwestern areas and the winds have kicked up and the air right behind the front, not immediately that cold. Eastern areas clear and calm, and because of the calm winds, you get that cold air draining in the low spots. So you have 39 Center and Hemphill, 38 Henderson, 37 Nacogdoches, but Tyler Pounds, higher elevation 45, and up here's where the winds have picked up. 46 Sulphur Springs, 43 in Mount Pleasant, but it'll all even out toward morning. There you see those north winds now 17 miles per hour with higher gusts in the Sulphur Springs area as the cold front moving on through. Clouds and precipitation will stay to our north. You can see it is quite a bit colder up there. Oklahoma 32, Amarillo 23. In the morning, we're going to look for basically low to mid 30s. Some of us will stay above freezing, but with the wind, it's going to feel like it's below freezing. And then a cool day, but lots of sun, beautiful day, 53 for the high. Coming up, we'll talk about when the next chance for precipitation is, and again, we'll look ahead toward Christmas. Kara.
Thanks, Scott. The city of Longview has updated their stormwater pollution prevention program. This in hopes to help citizens manage their watersheds from floods, erosion, and pollution. The program will help control construction runoff, which is the #1 pollutant in watersheds. The city wants this program to help educate and involve residents. Longview city engineer explains the significance of pollution prevention.
Pollution management and control is important because it has been identified as one of the major sources of water pollution.
They advise using fewer fertilizers and toxic pesticides, as well as sweeping your driveways and gutters. Also, the city suggests composting waste and not dumping chemicals down storm drains. With Christmas right around the corner, many families have their trees up and are ready to celebrate. For all of us with real trees, we know they can easily dry up if we're not careful. Not only does this affect the look of the tree, it can also cause a fire hazard. Local expert James Wilhite tells Fox 51 there's one simple technique you can do to keep your tree looking its best.
You could actually mist it periodically with a little spritzer. Might be a little hard on the ribbon and the tinsel, but if you can do that, that will help hydrate the tree, or at least keep the atmosphere at the tree itself a bit more moist.
He also says make sure you unplug anything electric on the tree before spritzing it, and make sure it's dry before you plug them back in. The East Texas Food Bank is asking for help collecting items for those in need this Christmas. The food bank likes to give out healthful meal choices all year long, but this isn't exactly the growing season. They're seeing the need for things like fresh fruit. Instead, the food bank is having to buy in bulk, but it's getting expensive, and there hasn't been a lot of donations coming in. To help replace fresh fruit, they're asking for donations of other healthful menu options.
Canned proteins, tuna fish, chicken, canned salmons, those are great. Peanut butter, those are very, very high demand.
Low gas prices may have put extra money in our pockets for some of us, but for other families, especially here in East Texas, it has had the opposite effect, putting some oil-filled families in desperate need for help. Upshur County is making changes for the next election. They're ditching paper ballots and going all electronic. On Tuesday, county commissioners approved the voting process. It'll cost about $250,000 to buy 65 electronic voting machines. Elections officials say the change means easier access for voters, saves taxpayers more money, and now that the county is voting electronically, they can be considered for voting centers.
I think it's a big benefit. You know, people will like it after they go and they can vote anywhere.
Voting centers allow residents to vote at any location rather than going to an assigned location. This electronic voting system will begin with the March primaries. Big news this evening. Brookshire's has announced it has hired a new chairman and CEO. Today, the company said Rick Rayford, the president and CEO, was retiring. Rayford has been at the company for the past 44 years. Taking his place, the company has hired Bradley Brookshire, the grandson of the company's founder, to take over. He has served as chairman of the board since 2007. Brookshire Grocery Company and Hormel Foods partnered up to donate to the East Texas Food Bank. Today, a check for $18,000 was presented, and the money will go toward providing hams to families in need here in East Texas. Fox 51 spoke with a representative from Brookshire Grocery Company about the donation.
It's because of our families and friends in East Texas that Brookshire Grocery Company is able to have been so successful over the years. And so corporately, it is our privilege and our honor to be able to give back to the communities in which we serve.
Brookshire Grocery Company is just one of the many companies the food bank partners with in an effort to feed the hungry right here in East Texas. Coming up next on Fox 51, we take a look at the continued fight against ISIS. That and more when we return.